Hi, international publicist Michelle Tennant Nicholson here, co-founder with my husband, friendsofeastflatrock.org. And we're doing a special series. We're profiling members of Friends of East Flat Rock. And today I have a special one, Gray Jernigan from Mountain True. Hey, Gray.
How's it going, Michelle?
So what we're doing is tell us who you are, what you do for a living, how long you've been in Henderson County, and why you oppose the asphalt plant here in East Flat Rock.
Yeah, well, thank you, Michelle. My name is Gray Jernigan. I serve as the Southern Regional Director and Green River Keeper with a local nonprofit organization, Mountain True. We're a Western North Carolina-based nonprofit environmental advocacy group that champions clean waters, resilient forests, and healthy communities across Western North Carolina. I work in our local office in Hendersonville on 3rd Avenue West. As a Green River Keeper, I'm really interested in issues in the Green River watershed. And when this asphalt plant came along, we were very concerned about the environmental impacts and the impacts on communities that it could bring. We're concerned about air pollution, water pollution, and really generally the land use issues here, with an industrial use coming into a predominantly residential area where people could suffer the impacts.
And how long has Mountain True been serving Hendersonville?
So Mountain True was formed by a merger of 3 environmental nonprofits back in 2015. And those, the local group that formed the merger from Henderson County was called the Environmental and Conservation Organization of Henderson County, that was formed back in the 1980s. So it was decades of environmental advocacy in the area.
When did you were you born here? When did you move here? How long have you been in Western North Carolina?
Great. I was born in Raleigh, North Carolina. I was introduced to Henderson County when I was a kid, coming up here for summer camp. And when I was in college, I came back up here to work at summer camp on the Green River in Tuxedo, North Carolina. After going off to school for a number of years and working in the environmental field, I finally landed a job in 2016 with Mountain True in our Hendersonville regional office, and got here as soon as I could.
That is so great, because our last profile was Nancy Wilson, who actually founded Camp Wayfair.
Oh, fantastic.
And as you know, that's the closest camp to the conditional rezoning application site.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so she's really, she's been, by the way, I don't know if you know, she successfully did camp this year COVID-free, which that must have been something unbelievable to, I'd like to interview her separately about how she actually made that happen, right? I just want to make sure I got her name. Yeah, Nancy Wilson and Jim Bob. What camp do you remember the name of the camp where you went in Tuxedo?
Oh, absolutely. I was at Camp Falling Creek. And so at Falling Creek Camp, I was a camper there for a number of years. And then I served on the paddling staff, teaching whitewater kayaking to kids. But I think that's really important. The camp industry in the area is so important to developing environmental ethic among children in the region. And really had a big impact on me, but they're also a big economic driver in the region and a big employer in the region as well. So kind of the impact that we might see from industrial uses on other businesses like summer camps and things like that could have a tremendous impact on the area.
And I also, as we're talking about the YouTube channel and camps, the other thing is this video with Missy Shank. So when you go to these videos here, so she talks about the specific numbers, right? So this is the formal letter that they actually gave to the commissioners. And so just to cite, this comes from North Carolina Youth Camp Association, and you can see all the camps that have signed this. Nancy Wilson, Missy Shank. Here's the numbers are incredible, right? So the total
I see Falling Creek Camp on there. My alma mater is signed on there. Falling Creek Camp right there, right underneath Camp Wayfair.
Yes, yes, very good. Thank you for pointing that out. And I mean, 10 million in tax revenues and 3,411 full-time jobs, right? And then I actually had her specify during the year, right? So she said most of the time they're busy the rest of the year, whereas when we look at this asphalt plant, remember that that's a seasonal job too, because it's based on, and it's 6 to 20 versus hundreds. And we've got millions of dollars. The camps are distraught about this because it is where the proposed site is the gateway to Henderson County, right here at exit 7 off of 25. And so parents who would be coming to take their kids to camp would be passing an asphalt plant. So that's what you want to see, right?
Absolutely. You drive to get to the river.
So Gray, I want to talk a little bit about the formal relationship. So everybody, I met Gray through when I learned about it June 1st. I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And I saw it. I had my friend Laura, who works at the federal level with environmental law, tell me, she's like, girl, you got to organize. So the very next day, I organized and with my husband, and then we called our friends Tim and Sarah Bell and Shane Benedict. Shane works over at Liquid Logic, and Tim and Sarah, of course, have the Gorge Zip Line and Green River Adventures. And I said, what do we do? I don't even know what I need to do next. And they said, call Gray. Shane said, call Gray. Tim said, call Gray. So I called Gray, and Gray you've been instrumental since day one. And the very first week, I realized that we needed to do fundraising to get a lawyer. That was June 4th. And so then June 5th, I asked you if we could have Mountain True be our fiscal nonprofit partner so we could raise funds for our legal defense. Of course, my husband and I were donating the PR campaign, but we still needed some paid advertising and then some legal counsel. And so you said, let me ask the board of directors. Tell me about how that was internally for Mountain True.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty easy decision. This is what we do best, is supporting local communities and that are standing up against issues that impact our environment. So when you guys came to us, I'm glad Tim and Sarah and Shane and Laura and everybody directed you my way. They're all good friends of Mountain True and good friends of mine, and they really care about our local environment, and their businesses depend on it. So it was an easy decision to get involved, and standing with local communities and supporting them in the best way that we can is really core to how we operate. If we can stand in support and let community members take the lead and carry the torch, and we'll provide all the resources that we can around this. So serving as a fiscal agent or fiscal sponsor of Friends of East Flat Rock just was a perfectly natural fit.
Thanks, Greg. I really appreciate that. And I want to, if you're just now looking at this and you're like, oh, I didn't even know, we've raised 16,000. There's probably going to be an update here. We update this periodically based on what the books show, right? These are all of our generous donors. I just want to take a moment to thank our generous donors. And if you want your name on here and your name isn't on here, then we will add your name to the list. Donate now, because the money right now, we're about break even. I mean, let's face it, lawyers are about as expensive as publicists. So, I think our lawyer, the fees are $250 an hour. Then there's retainer fees and so forth. And hopefully this will be over in October when the commissioners vote, and hopefully they'll vote our way. Please tell your neighbors October 1st is the date, because right now people are confused. They think that we won August 20th. That was just one hurdle getting to the commissioner vote. So we still need funds. We still are, I'd like to also reimburse some of our families who have personally taken on debt, buying signs or buying t-shirts and general swag. So if there's money left over, maybe we'll be able to reimburse some of those families. Gray, I don't know, what do you want? If we have any money left over, what what can we do with that money? I know that, you know, what would you recommend? People are concerned about what happens to that money.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't really have a say in it. Is we serve at your pleasure, and so whatever Friends of East Flat Rock decides the best use of that money would be, we're just managing it in a responsible way. We're not taking a fee for anything. We're providing the tax, the nonprofit tax vessel, so that people can write their donations off. But as far as the direction of how the money is spent, we serve at the community's pleasure.
Thank you, Gray. I really appreciate your partnership. Is there anything that you want to tell us, and you know, now that you have, you know, you're going to be on the Friends of East Flat Rock YouTube channel, is there anything that you need us to know?
Well, first of all, I just want to thank everybody for standing up and speaking out on this very important issue that affects our natural environment and our communities. And so just really thank everybody for sticking to it. This type of advocacy isn't easy, and it can wear on you. So it's really great to see so many people standing up in solidarity together. And October 1st, hopefully that's when we put this thing to rest for good. So just stay tuned, tune into the commissioners meeting, speak out at the commissioners meeting on October 1st at 6 o'clock. And get your comments in early, if that's best for you. You know, first thing we want is for people to be safe during the pandemic. So if it's not in the cards for you to be there in person, make sure to email and call the commissioners and let them know what you think. You know, because they serve you and they need to hear from you, and in order to make a decision on this.
Yeah, I really appreciate you saying that too. I sent an update. By the way, we're over 11,000 this morning. And these are, the interesting thing is that people can't believe this number. This is, you all, this is everybody in Henderson County, Buncombe County, Polk County. And we got a few stragglers in from Charleston, like Hilton Head. And then I got one guy from California, because they grew up here or they went to camp here. Part of the reason why we have these numbers is because they come to recreate here. And so we really, and the other place that you can find with what Gray is talking about is going to friendsofeastflatrock.org, and numbers 1 and 2 will show you how to reach the commissioners. And then we've got a countdown here. I wanted you to notice that there's going to be a sign-up sheet, but this meeting, there is no Zoom meeting. So there will be no Zoom meeting, and there's specific things that you need to do to actually, if you're putting your comments in ahead of time, there is, you want to make sure that you're using the right format and the right email addresses and so forth. So that'll all be put on our Facebook page, and it's on our friendsofeastflatrock.org. We especially need help. We did phoning. If you want to help with our phoning, we've got people making phone calls the next 2.5 weeks. A lot of people still haven't heard about it. I can't even believe that, but they haven't. I talked to a 25-year-old guy who's in East Flat Rock, you know, and he's busy leading his life, you know, and he's like, what? No, I didn't know. When is it? October 1st? So if you think that, you know, you're tired, here's the thing, is that some people haven't even heard about it to get tired. So come on, let's get some fresh blood in here. We need help. We need help. These 5 people are gonna vote on our future. And I don't know if you saw, Gray, but they're clear cutting on the property.
I did see some site prep taking place out there.
Yeah.
But I think it's a real
anything, and everybody doesn't mean anything, just means that some, you know, I think personally the contract came up, the applicant had to make a move or lose. And so he made a move, and this is what he's doing as a strategy piece. Doesn't mean that it's a done deal and that he's going to win. Okay.
Exactly. And I think it's a really good point you made. You know, most of those petition folks are local people signing that petition, local people getting involved and speaking out to their local elected officials. But, you know, the Green River is an international destination for whitewater paddling and for the scenery. The Green River Game Lands, it's not just a local issue, but people from all over care about this place, and everybody that comes to summer camp around here takes those memories back home, and they really care about this place. So we're really, really lucky to have some passionate people that are willing to speak out to protect our natural resources and the local community.
That's so true. The whitewater kayakers, I mean, that's why I came to the area for the Green River. And fun fact, the headwaters of Laurel Creek that feed into from that property down to the Green River, the headwaters is on my property across the street.
All right.
And I didn't know about the bog. And so we have a bog and an endangered plant here on this. But by the way, I know we're talking environment now, and a lot of people are like, it has nothing to do with environment. Gray and I love the environment. We're going to talk about it. So there's also just a sliver of the bog left adjacent to the property. No other, is it the arrowwood plant?
I think that's right. Yeah. And these mountain bogs are few and far between. Many have been destroyed by development over the years as our population has grown. The mountain bog is a really special place where you can find it. And
Nancy and Missy Shank told me that there's only one other place in the world that plant exists. And I know from when I lived in Saluda all those years, is that the ozone layer of Saluda there's only one other air quality equal to Saluda, which is in Italy. So wow. I know. So we're fighting for not only for our neighbors who they wouldn't be able to move, but we're also fighting for these summer camps and for these recreational areas. And I know that there's been some people who say, who cares that Carl Sandburg is 2 miles away? I've actually had people say that to me. I'm like, it's 2 miles, you all. This is like a national treasure. Carl Sandburg is a national treasure, as a poet. I want to just impress upon everybody that you're not just fighting for you. We're fighting for our neighbors and for our future. So great. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.